Transromanica has been certified as a cultural route of the Council of Europe for almost 14 years. We are very proud and honored that the Council of Europe is continuously acknowledging our dedicated efforts towards a sustainable management, interpretation, and communication of the shared European heritage of the Romanesque art and architecture, while providing a concrete demonstration of the values of the Council of Europe, such as cultural diversity and identity, intercultural dialogue, and mutual exchange and enrichment across borders. Now I have the great honor to talk about the cultural roots of the Council of Europe with Stefano Dominioni, who is the Executive Secretary of the Enlarged Partial Agreement on Cultural Roots and the Director of the European Institute of Cultural Roots. Welcome, Stefano. Great to have you here today on our first European Transromanica Day.
Thank you very much, Ms. Laser, Christine, for inviting me to take part in the interview.
Stefano, the Cultural Roots program of the Council of Europe was launched in 1987 with the aim to preserve and enhance the European heritage that builds a shared intercultural identity. Its objective is to demonstrate in a visible way, by means of a journey through space and time, how the heritage of the different countries and cultures of Europe represents a shared cultural heritage. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the program and the roots are putting these goals and especially the European values into practice?
Yes, of course. Cultural routes are itineraries created with the aim of translating European values and histories and identities into a program that recognizes transnational and cultural cooperation among different European countries. A cultural route is to be understood not only in terms of its restricted sense of physical pathways, but also it's a vision that comes alive by turning shared European cultural identities into a tangible reality beyond political or geographical divisions under the common umbrella of the cultural roots of the Council of Europe, which was launched in 1987, as you said. And the diversity of the themes of the cultural roots is really what makes the program of the Council of Europe so innovative and culturally rich. Through its different themes, the cultural roots show diverse cultures coexisting in a democratic European cultural space. In 1998, after the program was established by the Council of Europe, the Ministry for Culture of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg entered into a long-term agreement with the Council of Europe and established an Institute of Cultural Roots to serve as a technical agency specialized, responsible for implementing the program in the greater European space. Since then, the European Institute of Cultural Roots is located in Luxembourg, in the prestigious Neumünster Abbey, at the heart of the old city. And in 2010, the Council of Europe established an institution to oversee the implementation of the Cultural Roots program. The institution is the Enlarged Partial Agreement on Cultural Roots, bringing together all the member states of the Council of Europe, joining on a voluntary basis in this agreement. Today, 35 member states of the Council of Europe are members of the Enlarged Partial Agreement, including Germany as one of its first member states to join. And the political decision-making and also the certification of the Cultural Roots of the Council of Europe label is provided by the Enlarged Partial Agreement in its composition of the Ministries of Culture and the Ministries of Tourism of Europe. The uniqueness of the program of the Cultural Roots is reflected in the governance model, whereby each cultural route, like Transromanica, is managed autonomously by a legally established association composed of local and regional authorities, museums, institutions, with its own governing bodies and financial resources. Candidate networks to the Cultural Roots of the Council of Europe certification have to undergo a regular evaluation process by the Council of Europe. Every 3 years, certified cultural routes undergo also an evaluation process, and these criteria for certifications are established by the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe and reviewed by independent experts on the basis of an application submitted by the cultural routes every 3 years. And the last governing board awarding certification of the Council of Europe just took place yesterday in Strasbourg. The cultural routes, I'm happy to say, are continuing to grow steadily, even during these difficult times of COVID-19 pandemic. 2 new certifications brought the program to 40 cultural routes as of last year, covering a wide range of themes, including now more than 3,000 network members, institutional partners at a national level, crossing all the member states of the Council of Europe, but also going beyond to countries that are geographically linked to Europe. And in 2020, a record number of new applications were lodged with the Enlarged Partial Agreement Secretariat, and results of the applications will be known shortly.
Yeah, I think really if we look at the development of the program from 1987, starting with the one cultural route, which was the Santiago Compostela pilgrimage routes, the development up to today with more than 40 routes, with displaying so many themes, working on so many themes, the great variety of networks that were established, and all the different bodies and parties that are involved now. This development really shows the importance of this European cultural cooperation for the society also, don't you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. It is a development that really provides a way to the greater kind of citizenship of Europe to participate actively in culture, with access to culture at the local level, but always keeping in mind a European perspective. So the Cultural Roots model is wonderful because it really shows that we are connected through a shared European heritage. We all have our own individual history, traditions, cultural, also immaterial heritage linked to where we live, but at the same time there is a common history that links us all together, and Cultural Roots really narrate these traditions that somehow remind us that we are all part of the same continent, part of the same history, and really we share many cultural traits.
Yeah. Well, now Transromanica has been part of the program for quite a long time already, which is, of course, greatly owed to the very dedicated work of our committed network members and partners. So what would you rate as the most important assets or success factors that make the network a strong player in the Cultural Roots program on such a long-term and sustainable dimension?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Transromanica is a long-standing member of the Cultural Roots program, having been certified and been recertified recently, and is really focused on our common cultural heritage of the Romanesque art and architecture in Europe. This is a fundamentally important heritage that binds us all together. Identification, study, and interpretation of the European Romanesque heritage really is a contribution to the European value of appreciation of cultural heritage as a whole. And the fact that you, as Transromanica Network, can link over 9 countries with many regions and many members throughout Europe really forms a Romanesque network of itineraries and sites that is a astonishing important cultural heritage for Europe, and these regions and sites and monuments are really accessible to the public, and they develop also into a tourism tool, fostering sustainable regional tourism in our member states, and this is extremely important also as a tool for enhancing accessibility, especially for the new generation. So the network works, I know, closely with tourism organizations and agencies and tour operators, and in Saxony-Anhalt, for example, the fact that it hosts the headquarters of the network is wonderful, and Transromanica is very active, not only in German but at European level, with the 9 countries that are members of your network. So really, it is a fantastic network of sites. But not only you, I know you developed lots of very important communication tools and visibility tools. And this is something that we have come to appreciate over time. The information that you provide both on your website and in print, and we receive a lot of your publication regularly. This creates a really important visibility tool for your sites that are open to the public and provide really many interesting activities for the Roots on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to compare what we're doing in the field of tourism with a speaking tube for all the work that is done in the other fields, in research and in education and in cooperation. And the tourism is really the nice stage to show everything that our members are doing on a daily basis, really. Well, yeah.
Absolutely. I think the important culture is really the ability to be able to open to the appreciation of it through sustainable, especially cultural touristic products. And Transromanica does that because it connects sites that are also in rural areas, in less known destinations, and it provides an openness to our culture that creates a new type of tourism, also through trails and through rural, less known destinations. That really opens our appreciation for areas of Europe that are to be discovered, especially in the, I would say, post-COVID-19 pandemic. There is an interest from Europeans to travel maybe more locally, but at the same time to explore more our regions, and the Transromanica heritage is really very much available for this kind of experience tourism, authentic. Also, local communities are very proud of their Romanesque heritage and happy to show it to the public. So it is a tourism of quality, authenticity, but also really experiencing the local heritage that we have at our disposal in all our member states, especially in the 9 countries that are linked by Transromanica, and this is very much the future in our way of thinking of tourism, culture, heritage, but also appreciation of the environment, sustainability, and Transromanica has all these elements. So we believe it's a stronger network that will continue to grow in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your assessment. And also, Stefano, thank you so much for taking your time to participate in our first European Transromanica Day and talking to me about the cultural roots of the Council of Europe program. Thank you so much, Stefano.
Wonderful. All the best for the Transromanica Day, Christine, and all the best to you as well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.